And the last big summer league slate of the season, sadly, we got a 4-game main slate on Sunday to talk about. I will say these are all consolation games. The 2 semifinal games are actually on the early slate. So just FYI, none of these teams have anything to play for. You're going to see a lot of craziness like you saw tonight, where I think there's a huge edge. But yeah, before we talk about this slate, again, if you guys are new, my name is DK. I cover content for Draftkings for Prize Picks. Prize Picks are the sponsor of the video. If you're not on Prize Picks, you can use the code DKDFS. For 100% match up to $100, it'll be linked down below. And if you're looking for premium content, you can check out my Patreon. We give Prize Picks or DFS advice. We got NFL preseason right around the corner, a couple weeks away. And then we even got the World Cup, Basketball World Cup in about a month, too. I will be providing content for both of those. I'm super excited there. Let's recap tonight. So, looking like it's going to be a good night, but on the main slate, I got absolutely screwed. I was in amazing shape. Tiger Campbell, randomly in street clothes for no reason. Unbelievable stuff, man. I have Slauson in no ownership, absolutely smashed. Robert Baker, relatively low and smashed. Terry was good. Tyson, I have QJ Peterson, who was an absolute smash as well. So, yeah, I'm very tilted. Took a 0 here with Campbell. I still might cash in the main slate with a 0. If he played, I would have had a chance to take down everything, even the big tournament on DraftKings. So, it's going to be a good night overall, a late slate too, but man, the Tiger Campbell stuff really tilted me. All right, so let's talk about this 4-game slate, and we'll start. Also, we had someone take down the early slate. We had someone getting second in the, what was it? The early slate too. We did really well in the early slate and looking good. We had someone take down the early slate too. We got first and second in the early slate. We basically had someone take down every single slate this year in the Discord. So it's been a really good run. But let's go over the Thunder first. So Thunder, last game, you did see a couple of the main guys play. I think they could get shut down. So Jang started with KJ Williams, Keontae Johnson, Wallace, and Butler. I think there's a chance that we don't see Wallace, we don't see Butler, and we don't see Jang. But we will see. If they were on the same starting lineups, and obviously I would have Anderson Butler, who smashed, only played 23 minutes last game. Jang played 28 minutes. He'd probably be your safest bet. KJ Williams started, only played 19 minutes, but he was very productive in that time. JRE also did not play. If they end up resting a lot of guys, then we start looking at guys like McConnell, maybe Molinado. I played Zaire Smith a few games ago, and he barely played, so that put me on tilt mode. Shackelford could be a guy we look to if they end up sitting a lot of guys, so... I have a feeling most of these main guys will rest. Again, Jang, Cason Wallace, and Butler played last game. I have a feeling those guys will not play. For the Spurs, we will see. We mentioned Rice. No one played him last night. He came off the bench in 16 minutes and smashed. He could play a little bit more this game. You did get Champagny shut down as well. So Wembanyama, Champagny, and Branham did not play. Barlow and Wesley did. If Barlow and Wesley play again, those two obviously would be my favorite options. Barlow played 30 minutes. Just a guy, playing the 5 right now, a pretty high floor. Wesley, a little bit lower floor, but still should get a lot of shots up. He shot 3 of 17 last game. The faders went unpunished, which are so tilting. The other starter, Stevenson, only played 19 minutes. Sissoko played 25 minutes, was fine. Milner played 26 minutes. None of those guys really did a ton. Again, you had Rice play really well in limited minutes off the bench, and then you had McCoy have a solid game off the bench as well. So we'll keep an eye on the status of Barlow and Wesley. If I have a feeling like those guys have the highest DNP risk, in my opinion. For Miami, that was so incredibly annoying last slate. I pivoted from Tyson to Kane once we got the news that Miami was basically resting everyone besides Kane and Bouye. And then Tyson shoots like 90% from the field, and Kane shoots like 10% from the field. It was so annoying. But Kane and Bouye did play a ton when the game was competitive. So if there's no Robinson, Jovic, if all the main guys sit again, Robinson, Jovic, Drew Smith, Jaquez, Peterson, all sat last game. If it's just Kane and Bouye out there, then they look phenomenal. Bouye played 30 minutes, did not play in the blowout. Kane played 23 minutes again, did not play in the blowout. So those two look really good. The other starters, not a ton else here. I think Gardner would be solid. He started at the 5. Is he even in the player pool, though? I don't think he is. Yeah, he's not in the player pool. He started at the 5. Williams played 22 minutes. I don't know how to pronounce it. Oddage played 27 minutes. He was okay, I guess. No one really played a ton off the bench either, kind of spread out. So if they're on that same starting lineup, it's really Bouye and Kane that I like. For Portland, so we did see Portland shut down Shaedon Sharpe at half. I would assume that he is now done for the Summer League. The last game, again, they started Sharpe, only played him at half. Duval only played 21 minutes. Walker played 23. Murray played 25. Badger played 22. That game was a massive blowout, though, so I wonder if they would have played a little bit more if the game would have stayed competitive. Off the bench, Rupert played 32 minutes. I would assume he probably starts for Sharpe. Their rookie. He had a decent game in that time, so whereas Rupert's a flat min price, again, 32 minutes. He would look good if there's no Sharpe. I think Davis would also benefit. He only played 11 minutes, though, but he's not a bad point per minute guy. Just the minutes really have not been amazing on him. And then Duval, Walker, Murray, if they all play, they all look a lot better if Shaedon Sharpe does not play. Duop Reith has been really, really good, but the price point's not amazing. The minutes are not great on him, but if you want to continue to jam him in there, sure. I just don't think he's going to play enough for me to play him at that price. But again, price points really don't matter on the slate, to be honest. You really just want to target teams that are shorthanded. Atlanta and Dallas. So Atlanta, we'll see. They've been playing most of their main guys besides AJ Griffin, but they did kind of spread out their rotation last game. Last game, you saw a guy in the starting lineup play 22 minutes. Krejci played 24. Capangeli only played 13. Buffkin played 24, and Martin played 15. So really not good minutes there. Lundy played 27 off the bench. He smashed. Manic played 22 off the bench. So I'm feeling you could see a couple of these other guys get shut down. But if the starters play normal minutes, there's no AJ Griffin. Then I think Martin and Buffkin look good. Then the front court look good. And then I think Vic Krejci would probably be your safest overall play, factoring in salary. If they end up shutting some of these guys down, maybe a Lundy becomes viable. Again, he was amazing off the bench. He's been pretty solid in his run. Plavich would probably get a start in the front court. Manic would probably start too if they shut down a lot of guys. So again, it's a potential place here for Atlanta, and that's what basically I'm going to say with all these teams, right? A majority of these teams will shut down most of their guys, so you just got to be ready to be on top of the news and ready to change some things. So for Dallas, again, we know that Hardy is out. We know McKinley Wright is out. I think they'll probably run a similar starting lineup. I mean, I guess they could shut down the front court, but I think they'll run a similar starting lineup. So last game started Lively, Prosper, Miles, Randolph, and Lawson. The front court looks pretty safe. Lively and Prosper. Prosper was pretty popular last game, played 29 minutes. Lively in 25 minutes, went for 23 fantasy points. Miles was massive chalk last game. Really did not play a ton of minutes, only 18 minutes, but was decent in that time. I would think he would play a little bit more. Lawson did play a lot. He played 28 minutes. And then Randolph was the other starter. He played 23 minutes, didn't do a ton. Off the bench, you saw Walker absolutely smash. I think a bit of an outlier game, but that is good to see, and he's really, really cheap. And then Taze Moore was okay off the bench in 20 minutes. He's a stat sheet stuffer, so he's a little bit interesting. If they end up resting some of the front court guys, maybe we can look at a guy like Chris Silva, who's about a fantasy point per minute guy. Maybe Marcus Bingham becomes playable. So there could be some value there for Dallas as well. And then finally, the Lakers. So we tweeted out and we hammered Memphis money line the other night, and the Lakers were favored by 2. Memphis won by 31 points. That was an easy cash with the Lakers, though. So Christie did not play. I don't think he'll play today, or tomorrow in the consolation game. Pippen has been out with that injury, and Kelly Jones did not play. So they only played 9 guys. So I don't think they'll sit anyone else here. So with that being said, they started Castleton, Lewis, Hood-Schifino, Hodge, and Hamilton. I think one of my favorite spin-ups would be Castleton, just I'm pretty sure he actually will play, just because, again, the Lakers don't have a lot of bodies here. So I'm pretty high on Castleton. Hood-Schifino as well. He had a really bad game in 27 minutes, shot 3 of 17, but I like him. Swider came off the bench, played 32 minutes. That's fine. I thought there was some DNP risk once we got news that he was not starting. Hodge played 30 minutes. I think he looks pretty good if he plays 30 minutes again. You did see LJ get dusted off. He played really well in limited run, but again, 13 minutes is a bit concerning. Lewis got the start. He played 25 minutes. He's fine, but I don't see the massive ceiling on him, especially if guys like Castleton and Hood-Schifino and Hodge are playing. Those guys should dominate the usage, and Cole Swider off the bench. So, that's the Lakers. The team actually I'm relatively confident will play their main guys just because they don't have a ton of guys on their roster. So I don't really think they can afford sitting many other guys. Oh, and then finally the Clippers. The Clippers ran a bit of a weird rotation last game. Diabate once again did not play. I don't think he plays again. I think you could get some more guys shut down here for the Clippers, but Preston only played 15 minutes. I'm not sure. I don't think he played a minute in the second half. Williams only played 12 minutes. Moon played 34 minutes. Kobe Brown played 33 minutes. So massive minutes for those two. Miller played 25. Walls played 20 off the bench. Thomas played 21 off the bench. I think Kobe Brown will be a pretty popular play if he does play. He's been playing big minutes, 64 fantasy points last game. Again, people will chase, but if he's in there and he's starting, I have no issue with that. Moon and Preston, well, I think Moon will get a lot more ownership based on last game. Preston, the minutes were a bit concerning, only 15. Diabate missed. Williams started, but again, he has started the previous 2 games, has not played a ton. Miller's been starting, but he really hasn't done much. I think he's just fine. Broderick Thomas got decent run off the bench, and then Wall's got decent run off the bench. Maybe 1 or 2 of these main starters could get shut down, and then we could look to more value here for the Clippers. But that's basically the summer league for you on the last couple slates of the year when they're not, playing semifinals or the finals. If it's just consolation games, you're going to see a majority of these teams shut down their main guys. Some teams will play a few of them, but most of them will shut down their guys, and you really want to target the teams that are shorthanded, like I mentioned in my last video. So that's going to wrap it up for the Summer League video, our Summer League main slate. I'll have a video up for the Showdown slate tomorrow. Other than that, I really appreciate you guys watching. Thanks for all the support during the Summer League, and we'll see you in the Showdown video tomorrow.